Hey everybody, this is Steve back in the shop. I'm going to be working on changing out this seal in my gearbox here today. As you can see, my belt pulley is soaked in oil pretty bad. And all that comes from the gearbox. There's actually a seal right back there that you can change. I've had people say, and I've read what they say, you have to take this whole gearbox out of here just to change that seal. That's not the case. So what I've done, as you can see, I've already taken off the belt pulley. I've taken off the 3 bolts that hold this flange on here. You can see I've got it started. I had to break it loose. Bear with me here. As you'll see, hard to do this one-handed, but you see this is coming out. Watch for that too. If you take this thing out, be sure you have some kind of catch pan, because you're going to have oil come out with it. Let's try something a little smaller here. I don't know if this one's ever been out or not. There's also a shim inside there. You can reuse it. There we go. Hope I'm not making anybody drunk here with all this bobbling back and forth. It's tough to do with one hand. Okay, got her loose. Again, don't forget about an oil pan under there because you're going to need it. You can see here, nothing really scary about it. Nothing to it. When you put this back together, it does not have to be timed. There's no timing involved. Yeah, that's been in there a day or two, hasn't it? All right, so let's take this over here to the workbench. Now you'll see, pardon the junk on the workbench. You see this, where this is tied, you've got 2 bolts here and a flat washer. You take this off, all this will slip off, piece 1, piece 2, piece 3, and then your raw shaft will come out. Your seal rests right inside here. Now let's see if I can take this apart and keep this video going at the same time. Hold on just a second with me. Okay, we're back again. Through the miracle of fast forward, I've already taken this off. If the need arises, you can actually take that gear out of this bearing, but I'm going to clean it up as is and put it back together, so I'm not going to take that apart. This right here, this, of course, pay attention to the keyway there. It does have a half moon key. This right here slides over the top of this shaft. Actually be coming in from this direction. Here's the end cap. Now, I cheated. I took it over to my press and pressed it out. I didn't go banging on it with a hammer. And you can see This is the original felt. This, if I can keep it intact, I'm going to reuse it. All that does is keep debris away from the seal. There is your seal. Now this one looks to have been replaced somewhere along the line. It's got a national number. Let's see if we can get a little closer here. Let's see what we got here. Give us a light. All right, this particular one here. Oh, here we go on this side. National seal. Looks like, what is it, 472438? I believe will be the replacement part. Now what I'll do now is I'll go down to O'Reilly's or somewhere and I'll see if they've got it, which they probably don't, but they can order it. There's one thing to bear in mind here. Whenever you're dealing with old shafts, doesn't seem to be the case here, but always look where the seal is going to ride. If you see a bad groove worn into the shaft, replacing the seal with the exact same seal is futile. You're just wasting your time because the seal is worn. The shaft is worn. The seal won't fill the gap that is worn into the shaft. The old leather seals were notorious for eating shafts. This one's been replaced with a neoprene seal. I don't see I can see some wear obviously on the shaft, but I don't see anything that would cause it not to seal. There's no groove worn into it. You can actually, whenever you can, if you can take these shafts, any shaft, and have them measure the depth of the wear groove, use that as the ID for your new replacement seal. Same OD, obviously, but the new ID will take into account the depth that has been cut into the old shaft. I hope that makes sense. Obviously, when you go to put all this stuff back together, you just put it back in reverse order. And like I said earlier, we'll go back over here. There is no timing. You can't see it apparently. No, I was hoping you could, but there's no timing when you put this in there. But you're going to have, and you pay attention to this, you're going to have some shims. If you're wise, I don't think the factory even put a gasket in there. I think the shim was the gasket. But if you're wise, you will go ahead and put some silicone in that to make up for the fact that you've been banging and prying and knocking on it and all that, and the fact that it's 70 years old probably, or more. I would go back with some kind of silicone of some kind. Be sure you clean all that crap out of that little sump right there. And just stick her back on there. It doesn't have to be tied. Make sure everything seats and sealed, and away you go. Thanks.